This is going to be a reading for Cancer for December. Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. This is a reading about the energies that are coming out in the 7's, 8's, and the number 15 in the tarot. The numbers 7 and 8 talk about times when we are striving to excel at something. We're past the midpoint of our journey, and we have our particular cycle, and we have a lot going on energetically that can be disruptive. It can be times when we're running up against obstacles that are either internal or external in the cycle. And depending on where you have placement in your chart of Cancer, whether it's Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, this can affect different parts of your life, and you can be experiencing things in many different ways. So the 7 in the major arcana is the Chariot, which is the Chariot is harnessing the energies of male and female, dark and light, the divine feminine and divine masculine, and it's an energy of moving forward. Things can be busy when the Chariot shows up in your reading. 8 is the card of strength, and the strength is a gentle balance of strength. Again, it is a balance of the masculine and feminine, so one is not overpowering the other. They are kind of working together. So that's the energy I get from that. The 15 is the Devil card, and the Devil has several different things going on with it. In the negative sense, it can be addictions or entanglements with individuals who are toxic. It can be toxic relationships. It can be the need to go within and in the positive sense and work on shadow energy. It also is a card sometimes for Capricorn, the energy around Capricorn. And the 7's and 8's in the minor arcana are all points at which something is happening. You're being defensive. You're looking at the choices that you have. You may be working on something strategically, or needing to do something that may seem a little bit like you're doing things all yourself or sneaking around. There's energies there of that. And then the 7 in Pentacles is a time when you're looking at what you are building or making or creating or what is happening and seeing what it is that you want to do with it next. The 8's are all some sort of action or movement, or a point at which you are deciding something. It's a decision and action. And the 8 of Wands is a lot of information or a lot of activity taking place. The energy is focused in a certain direction. The 8 of Cups is talking about moving away from something. The 8 of Swords is talking about feeling incapable to make a decision because you don't know which way to go, feeling trapped. And there is an energy of illusion there, because there's nothing holding you. And the 8 of Pentacles is talking about perfecting something. It's talking about working hard on perfecting the thing that you have done. So it's different aspects of the cards. So this reading is for Cancer. If Cancer is in your chart, in your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, this is a reading for you. So we will go ahead and see cut the cards, and I will see how they want to fall today. Okay. The heart of the matter is the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups talks about emotional situations. People are coming at you with some ideas and some thoughts and some offerings of help and assistance and love. And you are feeling stalled here because you don't want to take what you're being given here. It can be a card of ingratitude, of being disconnected. It can be a card of turning away from individuals. I think that this one is, to me, more a card of wanting to find the emotional stability that you're seeking. And the things that are on offer for you, for whatever reason, advice that's not wanted, you're not wanting to take it. It can be a bratty energy, resistance to things. It can be feeling disappointed about something. It's not what you want. The choices that you see here are not what you want. And you're kind of sitting in a state of, no, I'm not wanting this. I'm not ready to hear this. So I think that this is a kind of a pivot point for emotional situations, because sometimes there are things that they really rankle with us in a way. If you've ever been given advice that you know is really good advice, but it's like, why didn't I think of that before you did? I'm not really thrilled about what you've just offered me. So that's kind of the energy here. And the card that is crossing it is the Ten of Pentacles. Now the Ten of Pentacles is a really good card in its normal sense. It's a stable, happy home and family and resources. Everything is good with resources. So in the positive sense, this could mean that you're sitting in a place where things just aren't quite working for you emotionally. You are otherwise happy, and it's not, things are stagnant. This can be that stagnant energy. Things are just not exciting you. You don't want to deal with that. You have everything you need. You are in a sense of what is coming, what is next. The shadow side of the Ten of Pentacles is going to be, if you're putting too much emphasis on material wealth, sometimes you can feel it's the thing of chasing the next great thing, the next bit of technology, the being too hung up on the status of things. It can also be financial loss and negative energy around wealth, like feeling you don't deserve it, or just feeling rich but impoverished is what comes to mind. So that's possible. I'm thinking, however, it depends on your situation, but take what you will from it. I think that the feeling that I get here is you're just in a point where things aren't doing it for you in a way that they used to do, despite the fact that you have what you need. So this could be indeed this situation where is that all there is going through my mind. Is that all there is? Sometimes we reach a point where we've got material, we've got a good home, we have everything that we need. We just don't feel emotionally fulfilled anymore. This could be where you are. So let's see what energy is at the base here. What's underneath this? Well, we have the Nine of Cups. So you have had something fulfilled, and that's why I think this is something that you got, that you thought you wanted, and I'm not sure that you actually wanted it. When it happened, you were like, wow, that's cool, and then now you're thinking about it, and it's like, that's not quite what I wanted. I think that that's something that I'm getting here, is there is a sense that there has been some striving towards material instead of working on the emotions, and now you're dealing with with working through your emotional life in a way that you haven't before. It also could be that you've had your desires fulfilled, and you've had the manifestations of things that you wanted. Again, that's kind of borne out by the card above. So what have you been wishing for? The question is, if it's not satisfying you, what is going on here? If you have revealed to yourself through the things that you wanted being mostly in the material realm, then that is a good reason for sitting there in that energy going, it's not doing it for me. Because it really is something that might have put you out, the situation might have put you out of balance. The thing about this is that you also might be sitting with an open heart and waiting for what is available to you. But this looks like the base of this. What is behind this? This has already happened. Something has happened that has fulfilled your wishes, yet you're still sitting in a feeling of not wanting it, not enough. Maybe you are simply bored with your life. I am unsure what, but I'm sure that the cards, that the recent past tells me that you're thinking about, you may be thinking about the past, maybe things as they have turned for you. You're thinking more about the past. You've been thinking about that. The nostalgia, someone could have come into your life from the past, someone that you have an emotional connection with. So all of this so far is centered around emotions. And the Six of Cups in the past really is looking at your childhood in a way is one thing that it can be. And so there are issues that are coming up. And that could be really where this is going. These are issues that are coming up from your childhood that you are working with. And that is why you can feel like you're stuck in the past. You might need to forgive yourself for something that you feel like you have done, and or you haven't been, your self-worth hasn't been what you know it should be, and you realized that you are the only person that can give that to you. And that could be a little bit to do with this card too, because here's a person, these are cups that are being turned away. The answer is that the energy that you need, this emotional energy and this emotional healing, needs to come from within you, not from without. And I think you might be realizing that now. So let's see in the crowning energy, what is in your consciousness now? Yeah, there's some things going on. You're thinking a lot about this. The Five of Swords is really emotional, an emotional conflict, and I get the feeling this is happening inside your head more than it is in outside world, because this is all talking about the emotions. So with the Five of Swords energy, we see a person who has what appears to be the swords in this deck are black birds, are crows, and this is conflict. It could be that there's a loss you've experienced. There's a lack of confidence, perhaps. The need to do this. Then this really, I think that this talks about hollow victories. And I was saying this Nine of Cups is this emotional fulfillment, wish fulfilled. But what if that felt hollow? Because there's still things that you are working towards, and that's how it can feel. You can feel guilty about if you have a lot. You can feel the guilt of having stuff when others don't, or do I deserve this happiness? Do I deserve this happiness? So the point here is that you're going through energy that has made you reflect differently on how you feel and how you process your emotions. So in the near future, there is a little bit more of this feeling that the Two of Swords is a decision that you need to make. The Two of Swords swords are talking about communication and truth. And this tells me that you have something in your mind that you know to be what you need to do. However, you are denying that is the case. You're not willing at this moment in the near future, you're going to need to make the decision. And you're tied up with stuff. And I think that my gut feeling, my intuition here is something is this card. Let me set this aside here. We have someone who is sitting in an energy where I don't want to do this. Maybe the thing that you've realized about yourself is that there is an energy in you that is really stubborn. See if this sounds like something that you can relate to. But let's say you have to do something. You are stubborn about it, though, because it disagrees with some story that you've told yourself about yourself. This isn't who I am, or something like that. This isn't who I am. And so you're saying, I don't want to make this decision because that would be admitting to myself, to yourself, this is who I am, and this is a characteristic that I have, and this is one that is something that I really don't like about myself, and so I'm going to not do it. And you get stubborn, and you dig your you dig your feet in, and you don't move. And it's obvious when the Two of Swords comes up that there is something you need to do, and it's really something that you're going to have to be forced. You're going to have to do or be forced to do it. It will happen. So how is it that you make that decision? Let's see what energy you're sitting in yourself right now, Cancer. The Knight of Swords. Well, the Knight of Swords is really the bringer of truth. This is time to get this decision made and move forward. You're feeling a great deal of energy behind the Knight of Swords to make the decision and go ahead and move. But there is a tension here between these cards, and there's resistance that I think is tied to this feeling that's over here. You can decide what part of this pertains to you, but I feel this is a tension. You feel you need to move forward. And a little bit about the Knight of Swords. Let's go to the Two of Swords and Knight of Swords as sort of a combination, because your near future, you'll have to make a choice you're going to find difficult. There could be opposing ideas coming to you. So what people are offering you, you don't like. You don't like what they're suggesting. And this is really related to some emotional situation that you're in. You do feel possibly you don't want to commit to something that you really know you should. And you're possibly holding on to, I have stability. Why would I want to mess with that? Why would I want to make this decision? But I know I need to do this. And so there is that tension and that feeling of conflict there. And the Five of Swords and Two of Swords are all sort of, you're wanting this to just be over with, whatever it is. You're feeling a need for peace. And so you really want this conflict, inner conflict or external conflict, whether it's someone that won't stop at telling you, okay, I think you really need to do this. And you realize that they're right about that. And I think that maybe that has something to do with this, because sometimes if someone tells us something we don't really want to hear, but we know it's true, we're just like, you put your fingers in your ears and go, la, 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 I'm not going to listen to you, because you don't want to hear it, because it's the thing that has to be, this is true. That's kind of what I'm getting, the energy that I'm getting from this. And this Five of Swords, the Five of Swords energy is moving you in irritation, that is moving you to have to make a decision, because you're wanting to do something to get out of the situation. And the Knight of Swords is giving you the feeling that you really need to do this quickly. you need to be assertive. You need to be able to make your decision and move forward. And so this is a point at which if you don't do something, you're going to be stuck in this situation, and it will not help. The need, in fact, for you in this is to move quickly, because that is what will let loose the next part that will make you feel a little bit better about this situation. So let's see what the environment is. Okay, this is something. The environment is you have a lot of choices. There are a lot of things you need to think about. And that could be one of the problems. You're spoiled for choice. I kind of look at that card sometimes. In the environment that I see here for you, you have emotional energy that is strong, but it's kind of muddied. The Four of Cups is really kind of pointing in the direction of the Seven of Cups, and that's one of our cards here. Is like, what is the choice? What are the choices that I can make here? And the environment is you have many. This can be some wishful thinking. There could be things that are around you that are tempting, that you think might be a better choice than the one you should make. And I think that's one of the issues here. Is you need to make a decision, but you're spoiled for choice. I think that one of the things that we have to think about is that is the choice that you really should make, is this going to move you forward, or is this other stuff that's out here in your environment? Is the wishful thinking, is it thinking, well, maybe things will be a whole bunch better if I make this other choice? So it ends up being sort of a circular argument of what do I do? What do I do? Do I do this? Do I do that? Do I listen to my intuition, and do I listen to the thing that I really know that I need to do? So let's see what your hopes and fears are in this situation. Okay, Seven of Pentacles. Again, we have one of our sevens, and the Seven of Pentacles is really, you're not sure what to do. You're frustrated. You are afraid that you're thinking about giving up, but you're afraid of making the decision. I think that's really it. You're in a pause moment. You're waiting. The tension between this situation is these are things that you have to figure out. You probably already know the answer. So your hope is that what you do moves you forward in the way that you plan. This is the point where you may be impatient. You're afraid you're going to not get this, or you might say, well, I don't know what to do here, so I'm just going to give up. I think you're afraid, you're hoping that this turns out like you want it to. Really, is at the root of this is a matter, however, of you making the decision and cutting out the decisions, because you have a lot of options here as to what this will be. And with the Seven of Cups, it's kind of the same thing. Here you have a lot of decisions to be made. Here you're thinking about what is it that I need to eliminate from this? Is that a choice? Is that something about what you are planning on doing? Is this something about the way you're thinking about it? So there's a lot of caught up in your head that is kind of happening in the Five of Swords, Two of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. Know that you feel like you need to do it. I think you're afraid of rushing because you feel like the pressure is on you to act. So let's see what the outcome is. The Knight of Pentacles. What is the Knight of Pentacles telling us here? As far as an outcome, your hard work on this will actually pay off. What this is telling me is that the things that you have done, the places that you are now, your hard work, it's not a time to give up. It's a time to go ahead and make that decision, because this is your hard work and diligence are paying off. You could be thinking about taking shortcuts, which is a downside of the Knight of Pentacles. If you were thinking of taking shortcuts to make this happen quicker, that is probably not something that you should do. I don't think that that's what will happen here, but you have to kind of take a leap of faith and know that the work that you have done, sticking with it, is really going to keep this stability and move you in the direction that you want to go. Let's talk a little bit, because we haven't really talked too much about it. I think if we go to the underlying energy, what is at the bottom of the deck? So what we have at the bottom of this reading is the Hanged Man. So this is energy that is talking about the situation here and how you are stuck in a place where you're kind of waiting for the information that you've been sort of waiting for that. But now you know that you need to move. And one of the things that is really good here is that you have the energy of the Empress underneath this. So you have divine feminine, so you will have intuition to guide you. So I think you have that at your base. You also have some really good energy here as far, wow, this is looking to me like you're waiting for some clarity. You're waiting for you're waiting for that next wave. You're waiting to catch the next wave. You also have some energy of the Hierophant here. So there is some spirituality that is in the underlying energy. And you have been working hard. This shows me that you have been working very hard on this. But what you will get, what you will find is that you have this Nine of Cups. There has been an Ace of Cups. So there's a lot of emotional energy that's really broken open for you recently. And this is a new cycle for you. This is something where you are moving towards a new cycle, and you're working with things that could feel like karmic messages, things that you're working out. So there's things you've been working through. But I think that the progress here is showing you coming to a state where you already have an understanding. You know things are moving. Things have been moving really quickly. And you have been sitting in a little bit of the Hanged Man state. There may be someone around you who you've talked to. And this may be why you're not taking the advice, because this person that is around you could be telling you things that you know to really be true. The stubbornness that I think I feel from this is really interesting. You've kind of pulled into your shell at some point too, so that's what that Hermit could also be talking about. The message though that I'm getting from all of this is that you're getting ready to catch that wave, and you're in a good spot to do that if you can find the way to move forward. So given these energies here, I'm going to look at, actually, I'm going to put this one back in. I'm going to shuffle and go for a, let's see, do I need to clarify anything? I think it's pretty clear. I might, oh, well, guess who popped out? The Chariot. This to me is the advice card. The Chariot shows that you are indeed harnessing the energies of the dark and light. And that's one of our cards in our reading here. The advice is you can't stay in this Hanged Man energy forever. You know you need to move, and you have what you need here. You really do when you get to the point where you work through this with all that you've got at your disposal. You have the emotional stability, you have the material stability, the resources are in place. You just need to get this Knight of Swords and Chariot energy and harness it and make your move. And the thing that's going to help you, that is underneath this, the cards that are at the bottom of the deck at this moment are the Emperor. So there is some Emperor energy. This is a fire sign energy. This is something that will help you do this. You can harness this side of things. The Emperor is an Aries energy. So if you have Aries in your chart, that's where you can muster that. You also have reassurance from the Nine of Pentacles that this is not going to threaten your world, and the Knight of Pentacles here, because this is good, stable energy. The thing that you have been doing, and possibly has been necessary for you, is you have been taking the time, because you've been in this hangman, and the reason you've done that is something about the situation brought up old hurts, and you have been waiting to heal from that. And so this is energy that I see now is telling me you have done that. You are able to do this. And the Page of Pentacles here is that fresh energy that goes along with the Knight of Pentacles. But this is a messenger really too, moving you forward with whatever it is. So there's a lot of real world energy. I think that if you come to grips with whatever it is, and as I'm looking at this, the more I think it is, you're feeling that, is that all there is energy? But there's a point at which sometimes we do that when we're working on something that's really important and things haven't gone exactly as we wish. Something knocks us sideways. But the thing is, you have been working towards this. You are working on healing that. This Hanged Man moment is apparently over, and you're ready to go with this energy. The Chariot, it's time to move. You have the ability to harness that dark and light side to make that decision and to move forward. You have all of the cards here that support that. So with that, I will leave it there. Please, if you enjoyed this reading and got some insights from it, let me know. One way you can let me know is to like. Another is to leave a comment. And if you come back to my readings frequently, please consider subscribing, because subscribing is what makes YouTube creators it makes it possible for YouTube creators to really continue. Subscribers are an important, I'll get into this metric word. Subscribers are an important metric to YouTube that tells YouTube what material people are wanting to see. So if you enjoyed it and you come frequently to this site and look at my readings, please consider subscribing. And thank you very much.